morning. Last night, I ended up switching our message at the last minute to Romans 8. Therefore, there is now no condemnation for those that are in Christ Jesus. And I wanted to talk about, the difference between living in the flesh and living in the spirit. And I also wanted to tie in, we're going to a funeral on Friday, and then a friend of mine's father passed away last week. And when we're all going to face suffering and death. My mom passed away 8 years ago from cancer. And that's part of our human condition, but it gets us to come to that thought of, why am I here? What's the purpose of my life? Is there something more than just enjoying the life that's been given to us? Is there a greater purpose? And that's where I'm tying in, living, whether that's a posture of living in the flesh, is just living, from the posture of, I'm in it for me and what I can receive, or living in the spirit, which is in line with the Spirit of God, which is, God is love, and being free from the flesh and being able to live in that spirit. Then wherever you go, you're able to just be that presence. But you have to come to the end of yourself to get to that place. And that posture of submitting your will to God and trusting Him with your life, and instead of, the posture of what's in it for me, I am my own. C.S. Lewis said that that's the greatest lie in hell, is I am my own. And that self-centered root behind every sin is self-centeredness. But when we can come to the end and trust God with our lives, we can experience peace even going through the sufferings and struggles of this world. But we can't do that when we're holding on to us, and that's what I've experienced. And the beauty of relationship with God and being kind of co-laboring and partnering with God, being able to be a part of His heart for others. That's the beauty of, when you submit your life to God and trust Him. And then you can experience the peace of God in your life. You can experience contentment and joy in those things that I was striving for outside of God and never found, temporary satisfaction that never got me to what I was trying to do, but there was always that self-centered root. But we can get back to as if we never ate the tree when we submit our lives to God and trust Him. For in Galatians 2:20, for I have been crucified. That's talking about your self-will. I've been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. That's the posture that He's calling us to, and then we're able to live in the spirit rather than in the flesh. And then we're able to experience that love of God for others and for God, and it just stirs our affection for Him. So we have that choice. What's the purpose of my life? It's a good question to ask. Why am I here? Is there more than this? And my answer to that is yes. So much more than you can ever imagine. He loves you and desires to have relationship with you. Not compartmentalized Christianity, but a full, loving relationship. And then you find out who you really are and whose you really are. Read Romans 8 today if you have time. And it talks about living in the Spirit, but it also talks about being heirs with Christ. Love y'all. God bless.